Scooby-Doo 2 is the best movie ever made. As a kid, this movie taught you all the morals you needed to have. I had the DVD, I had a poster from a magazine, I just ripped it out at some hair salon. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, has everything you could ever want in a movie. Comedy, it's got drama, it's a little bit of a spooky horror movie. You can watch it at every occasion. I mean, let's start off. Come on, are you joking me? Look at this opening scene. Look at this opening scene. Cut to the museum opening. Intro, straight into the movie. Fred's real name is Freddie Prinze Jr. I mean, there's nobody more perfect for the role. And this is where you see them meet all of their fans. Daphne's got some weirdos, Velma's got some nerds, Shaggy's got some absolute stoners. I mean, look at this. Next scene, Mystery Inc. is leading around the news team. The museum is just an exhibit of all the monsters they've caught. Velma falls in love with Seth Green at first sight. There's a couple funny lines of dialogue exchanged, and then cut to shit getting crazy. Windows start shattering. Now they're real monsters, or at least the pterodactyl one is, and he breaks out of this cage. Starts flying all over the place. It causes a whole ruckus. Scooby, Shaggy, the whole team, the whole gang is trying to clean it up. They don't know what to do. After Scooby and Shaggy fail, you then meet the main villain, right? The masked guy. The pterodactyl gets away. The guy catches a hold of the rope that was on it, and I guess he just flings himself away too. That's cool. They're upset now because they looked stupid, even though they probably got bigger problems out there. Then cut to them at their little HQ. I hate this lady. You're gonna begin to hate this lady throughout the movie. This lady's always doing this weird thing where she takes what Fred says and only clips like 3 words out of it and just makes it sound terrible. During all this though, the gang feels sorry for themselves. Shaggy and Scooby over here, and you know what? They decide, we're not gonna feel sorry for ourselves, we're gonna become real detectives. You get this funny scene of Scooby and the go-go boots. I loved this scene as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. They analyzed the little scale that they found. It's a pterodactyl scale, a real pterodactyl scale. Flashback to Jonathan Jacobo, the pterodactyl monster ghost, whatever. Trying to make his escape, but failing. The last person connected to him was his cellmate in prison, Old Man Wickles. First time we see the mystery machine, finally on the way to Old Man Wickles' house. They're gonna go investigate for clues. Fred rings the doorbell twice, they get dropped through a hatch, now they're trapped. Or at least they think so, until Daphne comes up with her little makeup bag, and she starts doing this little pore strip, dust thing. I honestly couldn't tell you what she did, but it works. And then they begin to investigate. During Scooby's gathering of clues, he ends up finding a real clue, stuck to his paw. They run away and the whole gang ends up fighting with the Black Knight ghost as Velma reads through this cryptic little book she found, finding his weak point. With Shaggy and Scooby's new clue, they decide to go investigate. Well, while Shaggy and Scooby are out, the whole gang is investigating what this random scale is. They're analyzing it, and now Patrick shows up at the door, aka Seth Green. Velma likes him, so now she's super nervous. Daphne decides to have a talk with her. Then Daphne, Velma, Fred, and Patrick all go out for a double date. Cut to Scooby and Shaggy at the faux ghost. Now they're in disguise, and these are the best disguises I've ever seen. Now you get to see where all the villains and crooks hang out. Everybody that Scooby-Doo and the gang has taken down. This is also where we get our first look at Old Man Wickles. Shaggy goes to the bathroom, Scooby gets involved in this big dance number somehow. His wig ends up falling off, and they get discovered. They run to the garbage chute. They jump through it, and they land in the garbage. Now back to Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Patrick. Velma's farting in the car. They pull up to the museum, which just got broken into again. Patrick's pissed, says he has to get to the bottom of it, and goes out on his own. This reporter lady, I told you you're gonna start to hate her, starts interrogating Fred. The main villain, Masked Man, speaks from the roof again, as Daphne starts interrogating the reporter, because now she wants some answers. Scooby and Shaggy see Patrick beating this guy up for info, and he gets a little crazy on them. Scooby and Shaggy then follow Old Man Wickles into this creepy mining warehouse. They lose Old Man Wickles but end up finding the secret elevator. The gang pulls up to the mining town as well, and they see Old Man Wickles through the window. They decide to get some answers. They bust in. He's actually in an investors meeting. He's trying to sell child labor, get them to invest in this mining camp. It really shows he's a bad guy. They question Old Man Wickles about the museum robberies making him look bad. Then the investors leave. Scooby and Shaggy find the evil lair and a fridge. They begin eating and drinking these potions, transforming their bodies. Buff Shaggy throws one, it goes boom! The gang hears and they run to investigate. The gang then finds the stolen costumes. They start to look around, and of course Scooby and Shaggy start messing with this funny looking control panel and end up making music. Let me tell you, they weren't making music, they were making monsters. The whole gang gets caught and now they have to skedaddle. They split up and they get the hell out of there. All being chased by a different ghost or monster, ghoul, goblin. Shaggy and Scooby make the most epic getaway ever on trash can lids, landing right in the van. They group up back at their old clubhouse. Their new one is being overrun with people. They make a montage without Scooby and Shaggy, makes them sad. Shaggy skips a rock and somehow hits Niner 49er at the bottom of the lake. They all run out of there and end up having to finish the control panel in the van. They're struggling to get away from all these monsters, and while all of them are somehow in the back, Scooby starts driving as they're all hanging out on a carpet. Scooby swerves the one monster, sends the pterodactyl into the billboard. Scooby 2, Monster 0. They're back at the mining town now with the control panel fixed, reversed, so it'll erase monsters. Fred has the most badass fight with the Black Knight ghost you've ever seen in a kid's movie. Daphne taking on this outlet, this electric monster. I don't even know what this guy is, but he scares the hell out of me. They both get defeated. They have a cute little moment, almost die. Velma distracts these little skeleton ghosts and hands Scooby and Shaggy the control panel. They have doubts that they can't be heroes. All they are screw-ups. They aren't even gonna get this control panel there. Velma tells them if anybody can do it, it's you guys. True friendship. They hook up jumper cables to a metal rod. They defeat the monsters, Daphne and Fred. Scooby and Shaggy run past all these monsters. Velma falls and wears my glasses. Well, this room has a shrine to Jonathan Jacobo and the pterodactyl ghost. Who do you know who's behind her? Who hands Velma her glasses? Velma's had a sneaking suspicion it had to have been Patrick. He would have had to have access to all these monsters in the first place in order to make them real monsters. She convinced herself it's Patrick.
I know who you are.
As she's running from him, she falls through a grate. Patrick pulls her back up. Like a knight in shining armor, tells her, "You can trust me." Scooby and Shaggy demolish the cotton candy monster and arrive just in time with the control panel. Or at least they thought just in time. They start playing frisbee with the control panel, all getting backed up by this little goo goblin. I don't even know what he is. He's the equivalent of Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, but bad. Scooby-Doo, backed up against the wall though, has one final idea. A fire extinguisher. We get this epic Scooby-Doo surfing through ice montage, taking out all the monsters. Scooby-Doo saves the day, and he does it in style. He then plugs in the control panel and presses the button, eliminating all the monsters. The gang cheers, they don't look stupid anymore, and now they unmask the main villain. The villain ends up being this lady, the reporter that you hate, but it's not actually her. It's actually Scooby beats up Shaggy, thinking he's a monster. Everybody cheers, end of the movie. Great movie. And you know what? They didn't make a third one because they didn't need to. This is one of the many times a sequel outdoes its original. Spooky Island, don't get me wrong, it's amazing. Covers all genres, it hits every emotion. Makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you angry, makes you sad, upset. You might even pee a little bit. Anyways, I know this was a dumb video. It's one of my favorite childhood movies.